Hello, people. Welcome to Hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip. I am your host, Gary. I got my man, Mr. Tony, with me. How you doing, Tony?
I'm here.
You're here. That
Yeah.
is good.
Yep.
You,
My my my
where are you?
lupus was flaring up this morning. All my muscles well up like they're on fire, but that's subsided for now.
Okay, that was the medical report from Tony. But you're smiling, so I'm gonna say
we,
that.
we, we, we can always have medical reports from time.
Yeah. But we don't. That could be another show. Let's say hi to a couple people who have joined us here. Get direct to join John, who made a little snide remark when I had shared the information about the show, but he's here. Thanks for joining us. Tyrell Gunner TV has joined us. Welcome to the show. Big up to you, my man. Got BX Gunner in the house. Says greetings, everyone. BX from the Boogie Down, even though he's way down south now, or
You
south
need
of the Boogie.
Director John to just post all the comments.
Yeah. Direct to John, who posts all the comments. What do you mean?
Just put up all the comments that come in, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's a different show. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. We might have a guest join us, but because I know Spencer's got some family things going on, so we'll see if that happens. Um, yep.
You busy with Christmas decorations
No, I
already?
think I just got kids got they have performances and stuff, and I think that's what's going on there. Yeah. All right, so we might have a guest join us, somebody who you probably see me on his channel, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, Tony. Uh, Arsenal sits atop the table, and we've extended our lead. You know that we've extended our lead. So it was 5 last week, um, and now it's 6. But those that are behind us are different, and a whole lot different than they were. I think if I remember last time we looked at the table, Arsenal sitting at top with
Yeah.
I believe it was Sunderland behind them, then that team behind them, and I think sitting in fifth, sixth, and seventh at that point. United was also in the top four. I think at one point, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, and then, sorry, my machine's going through some weird things, so you might see some weird things on my side. I don't know why it's going on, but I'm here. But it may not affect you at all, but it may just affect me. So hopefully, it's just me. But it's different now. It's different now. Arsenal sits atop the league by 6 points, trying to, as some people probably are going to say, get back into the race, even though I don't think they ever left. City sits 6 points back. Liverpool sits 7 points back. So Arsenal, has to have a bad 2 week period, or at least a 2 game period, to allow people back into the race. But they got a big challenge coming up the next one, but we'll get into that as well. But Arsenal played over the weekend. Burnley, they went to Burnley. Everybody said that might be a little tough. Burnley, though, sitting towards the bottom of the table. Really, not. It shouldn't have been a tough game, but everybody seems to play up for Arsenal. Everybody seems to have a game plan, and we'll talk about why I think that. But before I forget, I did jump on Miss Molina's show because I saw it was on. I went to work, finished my work, went had dinner, sat with the boss for a little bit. Then I was about to get ready. I saw her; she was on. She actually asked for some people to join us. We'll see if they join us. But thanks for the pub, Miss Molina. She's always welcome here in the chat. You'll see her. All right. So, Tony, did you watch the game? I guess is the first question I'm going to ask.
Yes, I did.
Oh, all right. So you might have something to say, even though I'm probably going to not agree with some of it. So we'll see how that plays out. But some more people have joined us. Got Tiger and Goon has joined us over there from Australia. Welcome to the show this
I,
morning, lads.
I was
Uh,
happy it was 2-0 to Arsenal instead
Whoa,
of
whoa,
one
whoa. We're not going to.
one
Whoa,
nil.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow it down. Slow it down. You like to just go ahead and jump into it long before we even. I haven't even. No, stop it. Let's not jump that far ahead. You already giving out scores and stuff. Maybe the people didn't know the score. We'll get into the game. We'll get into the lineup and all that. Good house. Welcome to the show. He says hello, hello, and hello. He says Burnley look formidable against Liverpool, but we're anything against. Yeah, Tony, you already jumped into the game. We'll keep that. I'll keep that comment available, but we'll talk about it. So, Tony, as I like to do, and I think the lineup, uh, the lineup, and well, what am I doing? That's not the lineup there. Um, the lineup for the game, I think, was one, and I think it's our best lineup as we speak, right? Because we are dealing with some things. We're dealing with injuries and whatnot. Um, so best 11, I think, is what we put is what I was many people say. I don't know how you felt about the lineup. I mean, I don't think there's any changes you were expecting outside of what you saw.
No, it's pretty much what you expected.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, our back,
I
yeah, basically our back seven is pretty stable. And that's not going to change ever. I mean, you got Raya, Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Rice, and Subamenti. Basically, I'm going to say that's basically our back seven that we're not going to really change that much. If they're healthy, they play.
yeah,
And if we don't want to rotate, then they play. The front four, that's where we have some questions, and we can move things around. But I think there's at least two people there that played that are going to be staples in the positions they played. So you said you like the lineup, yeah?
I think three of them there, Gary. It's
Yep,
Trossard, Saka, and Bucharest.
yep, Jokeres, yep, yep, yep. And we'll get into that and then some. All right, now you can talk about the game at a high level, and then we'll get into the individuals as I put up my five. But in regards to the game, what are your thoughts on the game?
Uh, I think we started stronger than we have been. It was nice to have a fairly early 2-0 lead. Even though now, most of the times 1-0 leads, enough to get the 3 points. 2-0, we're definitely going to get a point.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless we're playing like City or Liverpool or somebody that has the ability to strike on us. But I thought it was a good team performance.
yeah, yeah.
Can't really have too many complaints.
No, no. I actually went back and watched the game. So my thoughts during it's hard to when you're doing a watch along and you watch the game and you go back and watch it. You're like, I missed either I missed things or I didn't pick up on things as much. That's at
Well,
least
one thing I noticed, Gary, I'm not sure if you noticed it. It's like when we're transitioning from offense to defense, it's with back three, but it becomes a back five when everybody gets back. There was five all the time lined up across the back. And that's kind of a new wrinkle into it.
yeah. Who's in the back line?
I didn't notice who the fifth one was.
Are you sure you saw five?
I saw five, Gary. It happened numerous times.
I didn't. You know what? I looked. I wasn't really looking for that because our defense is solid back four, back three, whatever the number might be. Wasn't necessarily thinking that as of a back five. Um, I mean, typically that's probably Zubimendi because Rice is usually the one moving forward on most cases, but it could be Zubimendi moving forward as we saw in this game. So now, for me, this game, going into it, we're playing Burnley. They're in the bottom half. They're towards the bottom of the table. I'm not feeling too concerned. I mean, the thing that the only problems I can see is if our defense decides all of a sudden they're not going to play today. You know, they hadn't scored. Their goal difference was terrible. Their number of goals they scored was not really that good. They've given up a lot of goals compared to their goals they've made. You know, not a large chunk, but still. I think we're at different levels to this thing. As I say, and they are way down compared to us in terms of levels. And so as long as we played to our strengths, we'll be okay. And that's what happened in this game. As you said, we were able to take a lead into halftime. It's been a while since we've done that. We were able to take a double goal lead into halftime. And like I said, when I went back and watched the game, well, I mean, they are lucky the game was close as it was. We had more than enough chances to pull ahead, uh, and maybe finish off with a 4 or 5 goal lead. And I think that's still a good sign, and that means we've got way to improve, right? Um, we're winning these games by 1 and 2 goals, and that is because we're just not, either clinical enough or whatever the case may be. We're not giving ourselves some chances because we're misplacing the ball, but so opportunities are lost, and then opportunities are lost in front of goal when we actually take our strike. And we saw that a couple times. And we get into, and I got some questions to ask you because of the things that I saw. But in reality, this was a 2-0 win. But in reality, it could have been a 5-1 game. They had a chance to score late.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think we pretty much handled them. They didn't really get much out of us. I mean, I think they got their, I believe they got a shot on target, but that was late in the game. When they're starting to put numbers forward and whatnot. Yeah, I think they got actually no
Mhm.
shots on target. That's weird. I thought they had a shot on target, but I guess a shot on target means that the goalkeeper stops it. I think that was blocked. The one that they did have going towards goal. Um, so, but yeah, no,
I,
I am.
I think there are lots of games, Gary, that were missing 2 or 3 goals that could be added to the
Yeah.
score line.
Every game we've played, there's opportunities for us to score 3 and 4 goals easily every game.
I hate to say that we play poorly, but our offense still isn't clicking like it should be.
Yeah, and
It's improved with Trossard, but it's still not near as good as it could.
yeah, yeah. The one thing I'll say is we have to be near perfect in our decision making and our striking than some other teams. Like one I'll bring up is like if you did you watch any of the City game?
No, I did not.
Yeah, yeah. City. I think they played. Is it Brent? Who they played? Was it Brentford? I forget who they played. Um, but City played, and let's see, who did they play? They played. What can I think of it? Oh, yeah, they played Bournemouth, and Bournemouth, good team, right? This season has played really well, but against City, for some reason, they decided to do what teams don't do. They wouldn't do it against us. All right, most teams don't do this against us. They play a really high defensive line, and they got beat to shreds on it. Harlan was having a lot of fun. They were able to make passes before we even crossed the midline. I mean, it was ridiculous the way they played, and the fact that they were able to get back into the game and continue to play the same way and get punished for it, I think was ridiculous. So I think teams don't do that against us, and that's the thing I don't get. Why would you think about it? You're Bournemouth, right? They have Harlan, right? He's like the top scorer in the world, if not definitely in England, right?
Yeah,
He's got 11 goals to his name right now, and you decide to play a defense. You decide to put your defense at risk with him. I mean, there was one play where the center backs were like so far apart, and he just was able to split them easily. It was it was silly. I like I said, I don't think most teams will do that. Yeah, they were playing Bournemouth, but yeah, they'll bounce back. But that was a silly. I think that was a silly decision by their own manager to play the way they did. You know, most teams don't. They don't do that to us, and they know why because they will get punished, right? But they
yeah,
did it against City, and I don't understand why. It didn't make any sense to me why you would play that way. They were lucky to be able to tie that thing up, and yeah, it just seemed it looked really weird. I didn't really understand it the way they played. I mean, if they're playing Liverpool, I don't think they play that way. I mean, I think Liverpool's struggling, and that's why maybe they didn't get punished by them. But they didn't play too well there. So yeah, I got some comments. I got Miss Melina in the house. Thanks for joining us, Miss Melina. Thanks for pushing people this way. I appreciate that. I appreciate the plug there. I got some more comments that I missed here, so sorry. I'm going to have to track back a little bit. MLS, Hincapie, Mosquera, White, the second back line. Yeah, that is a. If people say, that's a strong back line. I mean, there are essentially four starters there. Hincapie hasn't really started for us yet, but that's the plan. Mosquera has, White of course has, and Skelly has. So I mean, if that's your back line, right, you're fine. I think you're fine, and we're fine. There isn't a better back seven anywhere. Right? One shot on goal allowed in the last four games. They can't score if they can't put the ball on goal for sure. For sure. We know initially we're talking about just getting shots off, and now we're talking about do they even get a shot? Because only three shots they took, and they had some possession of the ball too. So it's not like they don't have the ball much, but nowhere threatening us. It says, "Sorry, Mike, the screen keeps going away. I don't know. What's weird is it's really cold here, but my machine's acting like it's really hot, and it keeps just going black. The screen goes black and then comes back again. As SPX says here, what seems boring and hard to watch now, we will be looking at in 5 to 10 years as defensive master classes in title winning teams. You know what? That's the problem. Everybody says it's boring. It's just football. It's just football. That's all it is. It's not boring. It's football. People tell you defense wins championships. Then when you play defense, people say it's boring. That doesn't make any sense. No, it's just football.
yeah, but
If our offense was given the opportunities like most teams, we wouldn't be saying that we be getting clean sheets with 3 and 4 goal leads. But
but
teams know
but,
better than they can't stop our defense, right? They try. They can't, but they can stop our offense. Until they can't stop our offense, and I don't think they're boring. I think they are, they're master
I,
classes.
I I think a lot of our games are boring to watch, especially the ones that are 0-0 at halftime. Just
But why is that? Why is that?
because we lack the attack.
Well, we
Eh,
aren't boring. You saw we have opportunities. You even said it. We have opportunities to score. Right now, our attack is not boring. They're just not clinical. And I don't even mean just shooting. I mean in general. Sometimes the passing is off. Sometimes the runs are being made and the pass isn't being made. Sometimes the pass is being made and the run's not happening. So I think there's just a little bit of a learning curve with the players that we have. So for me, I don't think it's boring. Like I don't think Arteta's saying this is how I want to play. I think
I
I think he's
I
like.
think that's the problem. I
I,
think he's still micromanaging
did you
that.
see I rewatched that game again. Did you see what happened in that game? Right? Did you see people are complaining about Saka, saying he had a really poor game. He had a couple of one-on-ones, uh, 2-on-ones that he made the wrong decision. Right? He took a shot when he maybe could have passed off to Eze. Right? I mean, it was 2-on-1 with Eze to the left of him, with nobody on outside of him, but he took the shot anyways. I mean, it was a shot. The goalkeeper, made a stop there, but there were like we're getting the opportunities. So to say it's boring, I think, is because the scoreline doesn't match what you would consider excitement. But we are putting ourselves in situations to get goals. We're not clinical enough, or as I like to say, we missed the opportunity to actually get in a chance in a position to score. So go back and watch the game again. I bet you'll see opportunities lost, not that we didn't even get chances to score. I mean,
No,
go ahead.
I just don't think it's an exciting way to play.
Yeah. I don't know what
Maybe
you mean by it, though.
maybe when everything's clicking, it might be. But
Yeah.
I,
We had many an attack get thwarted by either bad decisions or the bad shooting, or and once in a while some good defense on the other side. So I don't. I hear everybody saying boring. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't believe that's what's happening.
maybe
I think you're looking at the
maybe
scoreline.
I have boring football fatigue, Gary, because
I,
it's been boring the last
yeah,
4 or 5 seasons.
I think you're missing what's going on there. I think you're feeding into the agenda that a lot of people are saying that it's boring.
No, it's not that because I haven't hardly been on
No, I
social
just
media
what I mean.
reading.
You're saying the same things everybody
It,
else is, so you're hearing it somewhere. It's not, and whether or not you read it,
I,
you scroll through Twitter and Instagram or whatever, you probably see comments being made, and you don't even realize it.
I, I won't really been paying attention to him, Gary.
I hear you. Like I said, you maybe not even know. But got Boy 10 Dio in the house. He says attack is playing 3-10, defense is playing 8-10. I I don't know what that. Oh, you mean like the way we're yeah, and for me, the attack is playing 3-10, but I mean, I think at three of those 10 was Jokeres. I think he was really good on the day. Um, if your attack even gets to 6 out of 10 in the form, we're going to be unbeatable. And you know what? If you watch the first half, then once again we've had these halves where you're like, damn it, oh how have we not scored? Right? We played against Newcastle that first half. How do we not score? Played in this game, we had more than enough opportunity to score in the first half, and we didn't. So I don't. I think it's just the offense clicking in a sense that Eze and Jokeres having to deal with all the complexities and requirements and roles that are needed on our side, and then getting into their game as well is slowing things down. But it will catch up, and the defense is solid. The only complaint this game has is how we went into a shell and could move the ball out of our end in the last 10 minutes. I think that was us just going, why do we need to do that anymore? But I don't think we can play that way. So I'm with you on that. I don't think we can just say, you know what, let's shut up shop. You know, let's put the bus out there. I don't think we can do that. We just have to keep playing our style of football. And for me, that it'd be better for us. So that's kind of how I think the Cherries tried to be daring, and as we say, you know, mess around and find out, and they did. And I think that's the problem. Teams test the theory every once in a while and get punished. I don't know why you would test it with the best striker. I go back to that time and time again. Why would you test out a theory that, guess what, if we pay a little expansive and higher line defensively, we'll be okay against Harland? Silly, silly. If you saw what he did to us the one time, you don't do that, especially when your defense isn't as good as ours. So that's how I feel about that. Got Rosie in the house. She says evening superstars, and I don't know what that means. I'm not even gonna say it. It's 30 degrees today over here. 30 degrees. Yeah, it sounds hot. Yeah, it sounds cold if you're in the states and you're using the 30 degrees over here, but that's 30 degrees over there, Australia. Yeah, sounds hot. People that say it's boring are frankly spoiled by Wengable. Yeah, like I said, people are saying
I don't
boring.
think so.
People are saying boring, but then we don't have an Henri. We don't have Ian Wright. So we're not going to get that kind of football. right?
Yeah,
So
but you, you,
if
you,
you're looking
you,
at
you,
we don't have those type of players, so to say it's
yes,
boring
we
is
do.
is asking for something that you don't. We are one of the top score teams in the league, and everybody's saying we're boring. How is that? So we have to like what have 20 more goals than everybody else for it to be proper football now? Come on.
If you were clinical, I think it would still be boring. Just we don't play with tempo. It's methodical. It's orchestrated. That's the problem with it, Gary.
I
If you
I
watch Arsenal's
I don't.
film
Yeah, but you
from
know what?
from
We
from
don't.
game to
We
game,
Yeah,
you don't have to watch it game to game. You
yeah.
you can watch one Arsenal game to prepare for to
You
play
can't because
Arsenal.
we don't do the same thing every time. You might think it's the same thing, but it isn't. Whatever the team gives us, we take. You know that. You know the theory of I'll take what the defense gives us. The defense doesn't want to give us anything. And guess what? We're still taking it now. We're finding a way to get a goal across the line no matter what they do. And nobody likes that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's actually working. And you know what? Why do we care how we win? We've spent we've seen it multiple times in the last couple of years, us playing expansive football, this exciting football. It doesn't help us. It didn't help us. Now we have a proper system that we can depend on, and it's more reliable than anything you've ever seen in the last 6 years. When we don't like it because it doesn't entertain us, but we keep getting wins. I'm taking the wins because at the end of the day, I want to get a trophy. You can't get a trophy playing expansive, entertaining football that might open us up for, poor performances like we've seen. So, nah.
You got the defense, Gary. You
No,
can go
we had
and
a defense last year. It didn't work. Didn't work. We had the defense for the last 4
yeah.
years. It doesn't work. So, it's not
be-
just and that's why I don't think it's boring football because it's all defense. I don't think it's all just defense.
If you look back at last year, Gary, most of the time you would see one person back there or two people back there.
That is not true.
Then,
That's
yes,
not
it
true.
is.
That's not true because
You
when we lost the lead to Aston Villa, we had 4 people back there. Guess what happened? Partey can't defend on a free kick and gets beat. No. So I don't believe
uh,
that at all. We had
I'm
players
talking
back
about
there. When we
I'm
played
talking about
Liverpool, we didn't have 4 people. We didn't have 1 person back there.
when we don't have the ball, Gary. There's plenty of times when there's one or two people back there. Because
How many times did we give up 2 goals last season? Do you
Calafieri was
remember?
never back there when he
Our
was
defense is solid. That defense wasn't the problem. We couldn't score goals. That was the problem. We had no options to score goals. We're
because
better
our
at that
uh,
now. We have more
because our
options now.
midfield wasn't getting the ball too often. We
Well,
couldn't
because we had one of
transition.
our midfielders playing on the back line. That kind of doesn't help. I'm moving to be near you. There you go. Smother, suffocate, dominate. Like I said, I like the football because it's getting us wins. I know what to expect. I don't have to be entertained like everybody else because I enjoy what I'm seeing because it works and it gets us wins. And guess what? At the end of the day, you shouldn't care how we get the win. You shouldn't. Why do you care? You've watched good, bad football over the last 15, 20 years. What has it got you? Nothing. Nothing. It's got you nothing. And you don't like that either. So why now do we have something
And
that can get us something and you're like, no, I don't like it because it's not entertaining. I don't want to be entertained. I want to win now. Right? Don't we want to win?
it's not like my Thunder that has one of the best defenses in the NBA, but they still have one of the top offenses because of their transition play. You go straight from defense to scoring, and
And you saw
that's the
over the
way.
weekend. We just weren't clinical. You saw that over the
That,
weekend. We turn the ball over, we make our attack, and we're off. I mean, the Gyökeres long pass to Trossard. How does that happen? You see where he was when he made that pass? It's at the midline when he makes that pass. That's on the transition. You've got Trossard, you've got Eze streaking down the field, right? that's on a transition there when we got the ball back from the other side. You're seeing it. You don't like it because it doesn't. It's not the flare stuff that you want, but it actually is happening, just not the way you want. Right? The food tastes good. You just don't like the way it's prepared. All right? But you shouldn't care because the end result is the same. We got a goal. When the rest of the team stop playing anti-football against us, we'll see how dangerous we really are. We know how dangerous we are. We see it every time they make a mistake. Until then, let's park the bus and give us many corners. Was exactly take what they give us. They give us corners. We punish them on the corners. That's how I look at it. They want to.
Like I said, we were parking the bus because
We're not parking the bus. We
there
play
was
one of the we
five
play one
guys
of the
back
we
there,
play one of
Gary.
the highest high we play one of the highest lines in English football, and you're telling we're not parking the bus, Tony.
Well, like I said, in
So
the
so you're
transition, it
you're
went
you
from
keep saying
three guys back there to five
you're
guys
not
back
reading the
there.
headlines, but you're reading the headlines because you're saying everything they are. You're saying we're parking a bus when we play one of the higher lines in English in Premier League.
I'm
That
saying
can't. It's
that
not
based
true.
on what I've seen from this game, Gary.
From
We
this
we
game,
were
did you see our attack? No, no, you didn't see our attack.
yes,
Okay. If you
yes,
saw our
but
attack, then you saw. We're not going to get as many chances when teams play us the way they do. But when they make a mistake, we make them pay. We should make them pay, is what I should say.
but
We are.
I've seen us with five people back there, Gary.
Who cares about that back there? When we are attacking, it's not like that. You're looking at like a defensive stability and then complaining about it. And if we give up a goal like we were last season, giving up goals late in games because our defense was off, that's not happening now. It's not happening now.
That it's because the fullbacks are playing defense.
They're playing, and you don't like that either. You want us to give up that, right? That's what you want. You want us to give that up so we can play more expansive football and look more entertaining. I can't say I agree everything that Arteta does, but he has a plan. He's sticking to it, and it's getting him results, which is what we
I'm
wanted.
fine with a back three, but I wish if they're
Yeah.
back three, you just attack with your wing backs and
He's not taking the risk that you want to take because then when he takes the risk, then you just complained already that when we played last year, we didn't have enough people back, and now you're saying you want to do that again. He's not going to do that. He's more risk averse than you. He's not going to do that. Let me finish up some of these comments. We are moving the ball forward better than this season, but the low blocks we are facing are better, so it's harder to get clean chances. Exactly. So that's why we have to be a little bit more clinical in our passing. Our striking has to be better because we're not getting. And I think one of the things that we need to do, shoot first, and talk, we take an extra touch every time. Just hit the ball first time. I mean, in the midweek game, I think I was on a watch along, and I was sitting there. I was like, you know what? And where he just take the shot first time because he took a touch, took a shot, blocked. Guess what he did in the second attempt? Took it first time, called the goalkeeper, went underneath the goalkeeper's arms as it went in. We take and that's just a little thing there. We take the shots first time, we'll be all right. Crazy as it seems, but we're a lot closer to the 0406 Chelsea than the other teams. Reno was clutch like Dogba, top midfielder and unstoppable defense, in my opinion. Wild comparison. Why not debate? Why not debate it? I don't. I don't know if he's at a Dogba level. I don't know if he's at that level. But for us, he works fine. I don't know if he's at that level. And we will probably see a lot of it more than we think. I think if you, I don't know if you saw that. It looks like Gyökeres hasn't been practicing, which is a early sign that he's got muscle. I think he has a muscle injury. So we'll see if when we get him back.
I, I still want to know, is that training? Has to be
Well, he hasn't. If you look,
related
he has
training.
played. He's played when he's played. He plays about 90 minutes. There's nobody to bring on essentially for him. I think he's played more football than he would have. If we had a fully healthy squad, he probably wouldn't play as much, and he'd get more acclimated to the team because he wouldn't have to push himself too far. But I think that's kind of what happened there. And so yeah, it's gonna he's gonna wear down and wore down really quickly. Yeah, we go again next season and maybe even a rematch. It was awesome to see how far this team went. Yeah, I don't know what you talk. Even Arteta annoys me the way Moreno did. You know what? I'm gonna keep taking the wins. Everybody's complaining about how we're doing that. The 3 points is 3 points, right? I don't care how it goes because at some point you're not gonna care. Complaining, complaining. I don't want to complain about wins, right? I don't want to
But
complain. I don't want to complain about football that's working because that's what we're complaining
did
about. We're complaining about football that works. Nobody has an answer for it. It works.
do you agree with what media was saying last week that in 2 weeks the league could be over? I don't think the league could be over
I don't know about that.
this weekend.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, unless we can get a 30-point lead, no. So, no. So no, it's not
Makes
over until like in mathematically we win and nobody else can catch us. That's when it's over.
because you were talking about all these teams have like leapfrog each other, but they're still packed in there together, not
Yeah,
too
but
far
guess where
back
we are?
behind.
We are 2 games ahead of them. We have to drop points twice for them to catch us, even 3 times maybe for them to catch us, right? So it's not a large number, but it is a number that I'd rather have on my side. I so a draw doesn't hurt us as much, but we keep winning. We keep putting pressure on everybody. I mean, City and Liverpool play each other. If that turns into a draw, we're laughing if we can get a win that weekend. I'm not talking Wenger ball when Henri or Wright was around. I'm talking Wenger ball in Fabregas or Ozil era. People that say it's boring simply want an aesthetic of football. I get it. I think I want him to get the best out of his team, and he's doing that. And I'm going to take that the way it is right now. He wants to lean on his defense, and I think that's what we were going to do last year, but we didn't have our attack to back it up because we needed our attack. So I'm happy with what we got. He wanted to start from the back. Everybody, some teams want to start from the front. Some teams want to start from the back. He starts from the back. In a way, they still want that Ozil team to win a title, but it's never happening, lads. That iteration failed, so did Fabregas era. No, I hear you. I hear you on that. Yeah. All right. I don't know if that means Rosie's leaving us. If that says there, they're bashing us because they're all scared and have no answers to beat us. We were considered bottle jobs for so long they can't accept the way we are, the real deal, and now the bottle jobs. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I have no complaints about the football we're playing. I like it because we understand it. Opponents, rivals, they don't have to understand it. It works for us, gets us the win. At the end of the day, when we walk off the field with the lead, we're happy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the whole offense. When offense is what everybody wants. Yeah, but we're sitting here with a defense that's pretty solid. So, yeah, that's a great ball to Trossard from Eucharist. That's exactly what they are scared about. Yeah, that pass was splendid. And Gyökeres made many a good play, and I'll get into it on the day. He had, people said he had a man of the match kind of game. If he had played the second half, and I'll
But
go
but, but
into it.
that's why Trossard's playing because he can get and time those passes to Eucharist why a lot of other players can't.
None
Namely,
of, what
Martinelli cannot do that.
if you watch the game, Trossard wasn't the reason that Gyökeres had a good day.
No, I'm just saying
But you said,
on
but
that
you're bringing
play.
up a point that has no bearing on why Eucharist had a good day. If that was Martinelli out there, it would have been a totally different way we would have played on that side of the field, and maybe we would have scored the goals that we were missing. All right, because there were passes made to Trossard that he's not going to get to. But if that's Martinelli, probably he gets there. So I mean, that's the difference in the style of play between the two players. All right, Trossard had a good day. He had some shots he probably would like to try again. And that's why we want him. He's more clinical with his shots. Martinelli opens up the game a little bit more, right? So individual brilliance has been the difference against us. Example against Liverpool, got to be vigilant. Yeah. Let's see, Tony. We do not park the bus. City parked the bus against us in that game. We couldn't move the ball out in the last 10 minutes, and that happens. We didn't just retreat. Yeah, I don't. I you say park the bus. I don't believe we parked the bus, but we are
Uh,
indeed close.
back,
Marinos.
back,
Yeah,
Like I said, we had 5 guys back there.
we are not playing park the bus football, Tony. We're not. We're not playing park the bus football. I mean, we have more possession of the ball. We're not sitting back, and when we defend, they don't get the ball in our final third in the first place, which means we're not parking the bus. Our defense, is
We're defending more. We're in
how. What do you
in
mean we're defending
position.
more? We have more possession of the ball in a lot of the games. How are we defending more with the ball in our
Uh,
possession?
I meant by that, Gary, is that you're instead of having all these defenders overlapping and blah blah blah, inverted, whatever you want to say, they're in position. They're being disciplined, thus playing defense.
That makes no sense. What you just said to me, I don't understand it.
You're playing defense because it's defense first. That's why you go from a 3 to a 5, because
So
that's
talk
their
talk to me about
mentality is they're setting up.
Tell me about Calafiori and the way that he plays, because that doesn't sound
It,
defensive to me. What he does.
he's doing so more this year than last year. Last
What
year
is
it
he
was
doing now? Because when I see him now, he's higher than even some of our wings.
he's getting back into the transition because there's
I'm talking
somebody
about
over
on
on the
when we
other
have the
side.
ball, he's up the pitch. So I don't think he's playing defense the way you're saying. At least I don't think it. We are
You,
indeed close to the
you,
Miranda.
you didn't listen to me. In transition, Gary, when we're transitioning from attack to defense, you have the 3 players back there.
Mm, mm. We got Spencer in the house. Welcome, Spencer, and then I'll go through these comments, and then we'll continue our chat. And you keep teaching me about our defense. But first off, let's have Spencer join us. Spencer, how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. It's Monday, but I'm all right.
All right, cool. You back from the father duties?
Yeah, I kind of got a little sideways, but yes, yes.
Good, good. You get a gold star on the dad chart.
Yeah, gold stars are, hopefully you can cash them in, That's for the misses. Never mind. Never mind.
You said that out loud. You were supposed to be the
I always
inside
say
person.
that. No, I always say it out loud.
Let me
Well,
go through
listen,
these. Let me go
there's
through this
people that
comment.
are,
Let me go
there's
through these
people,
comments real quick, and then I'll let you collect your thoughts. I'm trying to catch up here. I've been trying to catch up, but Tony keeps talking to me. Yeah,
hmm,
we're definitely closer to Pep's Moreno's Chelsea than Pep. Yeah, for sure. We don't have a KDB. We don't have a Harland. I mean, that makes a difference. We don't have a lot of the players that they have. So, but defensively, we're much. I'll take that. At this point, I'm pretty sure Arteta is trying for the next iteration of total football. If you have a total defense and a total attack, who can beat you for sure? Start with the back because you can't lose if they can't score. So there you go. You can't relegate us to set pieces and hope to survive. You can't open up against us because we pass through teams when they do that for sure, for sure. Tony, no, are we parking the bus in the Champions League? No, we are scoring open play goals because our opponents are not playing a low block. Yeah, I think, like I said, we are taking what the defense gives us, and when they make a mistake, we punish them. Arteta had a style of football, just needed all the players to do so, which Berta has provided. It still doesn't excuse throwing away cups. No, I'm with you on the throwing away cups thing. We did not play to win any of those games. Not the way we set up and not the way we played. You know, I don't think he got the best out of the players he put on the pitch. He just had them playing a style of football that opened them up for disaster.
And the worst
Wait,
part of
let me
that,
finish the
Gary.
comments. Let me finish the
Okay,
comments. We were actually playing good. Hold your thought, write it down, and I'll let you talk. Let me just get to the end of this. We were actually good with having possessing the ball and recycling, overtaking pot shots. It's like a python slowly. No, for sure. We definitely take our time, but we punish you. Berta got our Ted on the straight, and now he got the players, so it made it easy. Simeone got bit. It's generally mattered, and the rest of Europe knows it mattered that Simeone got bit. That's why Pep is now talking about our goals against in his pressers. Yeah, Gary, I agree. Trossard didn't do anything spectacular. Martelli would have been able to get to the ball. Trossard's can't. Yeah, no.
Martinelli cannot make that pass.
That's not the pass we're talking about. They are totally different wings. They play totally different. So it's not the same. So when I say that Martinelli would get to the passes, I mean the passes that they were making to Trossard, he can't get to those because he doesn't have the pace. That's what I mean. Pep took Harlan off with 20 minutes to the best striker in the world. Yeah, for sure. They just they wanted to get. They thought they were going to be able to get all the points. Fitty looks
I
like
guarantee
Liverpool
you.
Let me finish the comments. Let me finish.
Okay.
City looks like Liverpool from
I'll
last
sit
season.
here and drink my fucking beer.
Yeah, but you're talking, so I can't. City looked like Liverpool for last season, being heavily dependent on Salah. It just so happens we look better. No, yeah, City has definitely got a one-man show right now. If City's other stars get going, then we'll see some competition. But as it stands, it's all on Haaland's shoulder. Yeah, and we have answers for Haaland, right? So he got one goal against us and nothing else. Mark FC, well, thanks for joining us. In transition, Calafury is in the attacking positions, but we play a much stronger defensive unit with 4 center backs along the back 4 and 4 DMs, 2 DMs. Yep, you're right. All right, Spencer has joined us. Tony, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. You want to let me?
I wanted to finish the chat. Go ahead and chat.
But with Martinelli, he cannot make those passes. Thus, like Bucharest has suddenly started scoring, he puts Trossard in there because he has the eye and make those passes. Because he had a pointless stat at one point because he had the most runs in the final third, but he wasn't getting the balls. Now he's getting the service. Now he's getting the goals. Martinelli can't do that. He can play defense, but we got enough defenders. We don't need additional defender. You don't need Saka playing defense. You don't need Odegaard playing defense. You have a defense. Have a defense, be a defense.
Yeah.
That's why we bought the midfielder that we did to play defensive mid. And you got the center backs. Yeah. So.
I hear you. All right, Spencer. What say you?
Well, Saturday about halftime, I told you it was over, man. I was like, I never really felt worried in that second half. That was a good free kick at the end of the game from Burnley, but you get your 2 goals. The Yorkeres thing bothers me. Knowing whether he's going to be. I know tomorrow is probably a no-go, but like Saturday, I think we can still beat Sunderland without him. But you got an international break coming on. If he's out for a minute, that's going to hurt me mentally because his impact is really needed. Because the only other person I think that can do the kind of job he's doing as far as like the hold-up play up there is probably Havertz, but he's still out. So the injury thing is what's going to if anything's going to derail Arsenal this year, it's injuries. That's the only thing I see. But what I will say on that is, flip side of that, Gabriel and Saliba are starting center backs, right? Calafiore is really going your left back. You can play Miles Lewis-Skelly there. You've got Timber. You've got White. But you also got Mascara, who's very competent. You got Hincapié that looks okay. So the depth is, on the defensive side of the ball. So bare minimum, you could not concede a goal and hope you get one. And I, don't want to play for draws or anything like that, but the injury bug's always going to be a concern, man. So
I was asked Gary this earlier in this show, but I'll ask you now. You're playing the worst team in the league. Don't you rest some of those guys?
Who's the worst team in the league?
This weekend. Come on.
Sunderland is not the worst team.
Sunderland's 5th.
Sunderland was second behind us last weekend.
They dropped points today, but that's still a good football team, man. I mean, if you're playing, well, no, I don't. No, I don't think you rest. And I'll say this why right now, and I don't know how Gary feels on this one, but we'll go ahead and say it. Until this league is really done, you can't take your foot off the gas. Now, that doesn't mean you can't rotate. Start in Weary, start Miles Lewis Skelly, but you should be looking at, hey, I need 60 minutes from you, regardless at this point. Until look, Liverpool plays City this weekend. All right, best case scenario, they both drop points. And if you can beat Sunderland, which I think you can, if we don't, we have another issue. And then you go 8 points clear of City, and then you go 9 points clear of Liverpool by the international break. It doesn't mean it's over. It's nowhere near over, but it's that cushion. It keeps adding cushion. And the more cushion you can add, the more rotation you can do. But, I mean, our problems in years past hasn't been beating the top clubs. It's putting the Burnleys away and the Wolves away, the 19th place in the league. I mean, hell, the year, I think, 22 and 23, when Ramsdale was in goal, we took 1 point out of 6 from Southampton. That's where you need to, until this team can prove that they can take care of people less than them, I still think you have to look at potentially going 80% every game. You can rotate 2 or 3 players a game, but mass rotation, not yet. If we're talking, March and they're 15 points clear, it's a different discussion. Or you could do like you did in the Carabao Cup game. Yorkeres, Saka, all these guys on the bench. So if you need to bring them on to get your 3 points, then you do that. So they give me 30 points. They're 30 minutes in this game. So it all depends, really. So that's my answer. I think you got to keep going. I was just watching the training video today, and I'll let Gary Tony speak whoever's next, but I'm just watching the depth and even the youth. I'm watching the young kid that played last week against Brighton, and he's, he looks the part with the first team in practice. So as much as I'm worried about Yorkeres's injury or what it is or how long it is, I'm also not worried about it because I know there's talented players in the pipeline that could potentially step in and do a job for us. So that's my answer.
We'll have to play a little bit different without Gyökeres. He definitely won't be around the next 2 games, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, Martinelli would be my call for striker if that's what it is. But you can also do Moreno. Moreno is fine too. I think Moreno can do the job fine. But that's when you look at a guy like Eze and Saka and say, okay, we don't have our striker today. You need to do something for us today.
Yep. I'm going to answer some questions and we'll continue with what you said. Yeah, Ray is around. He's just been offline for a bit. I did chat with him. He'll be back in a couple of weeks with a show. So yeah, he'll be around. He'll be back. He's on vacation now, so that's why there's no show for the next couple of weeks. But he'll be back. Rhetoric Gamers in the house. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Trossard is better versus. You're right about that. Trossard is better at the low blocks. Teams that come out and play us. Yeah, Martinelli's better because of his pace. Yep. Agree with that. Martinelli has raised his level of finishing with his goals this season. People said he couldn't go up another level. Then he's shown it. Yeah, well, he dropped down. That's why it looks better now. His level has dropped. Now he's back up to, kind of where he was when he left off. Sunderland can be our bogey team if we under. I don't. This is the thing is, every team's a bogey team for us because every team we can fall out. But our defense is too good for any team to be a bogey team. And as one of the things that we are doing now is we are beating the teams that are not in the big 6, not in the top 6. You look at our season. We've only dropped points to who? Liverpool and City. Who are our biggest rivals? Liverpool and City. If we played both of them to draws, they don't gain much points on us, right? They gain no points on us, right? So that's where we want to be. We got a cushion. We want to keep winning against the teams at the bottom. Gyökeres allows us to do that when we get, some of our healthy, when we come back for the international break, then we'll see how things play out, right? Hopefully Gyökeres will be back and Kai and him will be battling it out there. I think Gyökeres, this is the problem I have. Erdiger Erdegaard, Martin, played really well right before. In my eyes, I saw some things from that. I was like, I want more of that. Then he got injured. Gyökeres had a really good game on the weekend. He has gotten injured. I mean, it's just like, and I think part of that is because I don't think we had the depth. Gyökeres, Erdegaard getting injured, I'm not sure about that one, but Gyökeres, I think we played him a lot. I mean, you look at his numbers. He played in every year. I think only one game in the last like 7 or 8 that he's played in the league did he not play the full 90. So he's playing a full game these days, barely getting any rest. So except for maybe in the cups and stuff like that, he'll definitely be out. Hopefully, the next 2 games and probably even more all the way through until we come back. We're gonna have to.
That trend of muscle injuries in the team still bothers me.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know
yeah.
if it's from
We
the
know.
way we're training
We,
or
yeah. I mean, when you don't have a full squad, they're gonna get pushed. All right. I mean, you look at our back line. It don't like we're barely seeing injuries there, and we're seeing a lot of rotation there, right? And when we do go to when Saliba comes out, Mascara's in, no problem. When Gabriel's out, we put somebody else in, no problem. We don't have that in other places, right? We started the season. With Kai out. Erdegaard has been in and out of the team. So and we got as a late, so that didn't really help us, right? So I kind of felt like, what, all of that will catch up, and we just have to, as long as our defense stays solid, right, we're gonna have to figure out Rice and Zubimendi can't play every game, and we know Zubimendi won't play this midweek. Norgard needs to come in and kind of get to the form that he was before he left, right? I think he's from Bournemouth, right, or Brentford. I can forget which one it is. Forgot where he's from, but wherever he's from, he was the captain. He played solid against us. We need to get him back to that form. Rest in game if we're playing comfortably. Yeah, you know what? This is a thing that we don't do. That game, Saka probably should have come out. Rice Pie should have come out. But I understand why they played Saka. I don't think Saka for me. I don't know what you guys think. It's a question for you guys. I don't think Saka's healthy enough to play 90 minutes for us. I don't think he should have to, and I don't think he is. Spencer, Tony.
I think it dates back all the way to the last World Cup.
All right, we're going too far back. I don't think
okay.
Saka right now is healthy to play 90 minutes. Comment on that. Can't tell me something that happened like 4 years ago. Come on.
It's a trend. It's a trend with him though. As soon as he's available, he's in there. You don't work him in. You don't have him do full training. It just you throw him back in there. He's young and he's not having enough time for his body to properly heal, and that's a problem. And it should be one of those things: is a kid burn out when he's 24, 25 years old, and he's never going to reach his potential because of being played too much. Being played with 3,800 minutes, 4,000 minutes. He's played way too much football. When we've had the people to come on and play the last 20 or 30 minutes, he can bring on those players because we have them. You've seen it in the Champions League. Any of those guys can come in, play the Premier League, and we'll be fine with. One should have played for Odegaard at the start of last season when Odegaard went out. Didn't. He can play now with Odegaard out.
All right, you're moving. But we're talking about Saka, right? Let's stick to Saka. Is that all you got on Saka?
Yep, he's overplayed.
Yeah. So you don't think he should be playing 90 minutes, much less every game.
No, he's definitely going to be playing 90 minutes every game.
Yep. Spencer.
All right, so my thing is I don't know if he can play a full 90 minutes, but I don't know if I want him to do it either. It's the correct answer, in my opinion. Especially given, we did leave in that Leeds game with the injury, and that was what, September-ish, maybe late August, if I'm not mistaken. So my argument would be I don't want him to play full 90. If he's healthy or not, I can't answer that question. And I'm not copying out on that one. I don't know. But again, like if you think about it from this perspective, and of course, in a perfect world, you've got players that can come in and finish the game for him. I mean, you got Dowman you could bring in there. You've got Nweri that could play at the right wing if you need to. Heck, you got Madueke when he's healthy. So the squad's set up in a certain way, and I think that was and I know I'm going to get myself in trouble because Tony mentioned another player too. But one position, a lone striker, and it brings my point. When we get that full complement, no one needs to really do 90, right? Every single time. So in a perfect world, when all things are perfect, and they never are, Sackers doesn't need to do 90 minutes, in my opinion, unless we're talking like Champions League final, second leg of a semifinal. We need him out there. Like that's the correct answer in my book. But Leeds at home, and Tom's gonna laugh when I say this, up 4-0, he should be off the field by that time. Period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there were a couple plays, balls that were made to him. He just looked at it and was like, I'm not gonna be able to run for that. And he doesn't run anyways. Like a lot of times when he gets the ball, it's a pass directly to him. He's not making a run per se, and he's not getting. He gets past his man, but it's not like Madueke getting past his man.
It's not like Martinelli.
It's not like Madueke, because Madueke I've seen on the right hand side get past his man very easy. He just doesn't have that, as they say, football IQ to do something better with it than what he's doing now. Like before, it was just shoot, and then it got to the point where it's just like I'm going to pass no matter what. So he's kind of like still trying to figure out. He's kind of like he's in that no man's land when he gets there. So I kind of felt like, you know what? Yeah. So yeah, nah.
I also think teams play Saka differently too. He gets doubled up a lot of games, so I think that also impacts. I wonder if he hasn't developed in his arsenal a second answer to questions, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times he take the ball and hit it with his left foot, and get over there and try to curl it in. But teams have seemed to kind of attack that to an extent. But again, I'm not worried about Saka. I'm not. Yeah. I'm more worried about his fitness levels than I am his clinical play. That's it.
I watched the replay of the game today, and I think he's got answers for everything. He can either go outside and beat his man, or he'll be able to step inside and then allows Timber to go to the outside and he makes a pass. I mean, he can't do it by himself for sure.
You mentioned that. You can't do it by himself, but Timber raises those levels.
Timber makes those runs in the inside, or it doesn't matter if he goes inside or outside. Saka will find him. Sometimes he's not there, and that's why there's nobody to go to, and he has to just go by himself. And the thing that I and I'll say this and I'll keep saying it, when Saka is going to take the ball and put his shoulder down, Gyökeres has to run to the near post. He doesn't do it. He still doesn't do it. So when Saka gets around that corner, he's got nowhere to pass to, because he's still kind of watching him. Yeah. So I kind of felt like yeah.
We said the name. That's the name that makes Saka's levels rise. Timber.
Yeah. He's doing good.
100%. I think Timber and Calafiori. If we're gonna really be honest here, I mean that's really where we've seen the levels of this team raise, in my opinion. Calafiori being healthy, looks good on the ball. Timbers look good on the ball, good defensively. They're both really solid. Like it's been, but also plays into Zubimendi and Gabriel. It's everything is working together as a unit, and I think that's if you can look back 10 games so far in the league, 3 Champions League games, 1 Carabao Cup game, or 2 at this point, I think it is, and you're just seeing a team work together. And I think we said it Saturday, Gary. It's just a bunch of guys that are out there willing to do the job, nobody wants to be the hero, but they're all going to work together for one goal. And
That's the key word you just said there. Work together. Because I was saying that earlier that in this game I noticed that several times when we're first getting the ball, there's quickly 3 players back there. Then all of a sudden there's 5 players back there. And last year that wasn't happening because Calafieri was staying up. He wasn't busting his ass to get back. And that's why I criticized him many of time last year because he wasn't showing that defensive part of his repertoire. He was just showing the going forward part. Now you're seeing all of it. So
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Yep. No. Sunderland played home to Everton today, and it was a 1-1 draw. We go to Sunderland on the weekend. If Everton can hold Sunderland to 1 goal, what can our defense do to Sunderland? So, like, I'm looking at it relative to competition. I don't think Everton's attack is anywhere near ours, even without Gyökeres in there. So I kind of felt like we just look at it. Just look at it. Sunderland, yes, they played really good football, but they haven't played Arsenal. Arsenal's a totally different beast. Our back seven is pretty solid and more likely will be available on the weekend. Gyökeres probably won't be, right? I don't know. I don't think Zubamendi came off for any injuries. I think he'll be rested, right? Because he's not playing midweek. He can't play in the midweek. So, whoever we play up top I think we'll be fine. It will be a little bit of a struggle, but we have Gabriel. So we know that is an option for us. So I feel like, you know what? Yeah, they have a good momentum, but that Everton match probably wasn't a good. That kind of like was a little blip to their season so far. I think they probably expected to play better. Yeah, and this is the thing. We're beating the teams we're supposed to be, and that's what I'm saying. We haven't lost anybody who's not considered a Big Six team, or a direct competitor to the league. That's it. That's it. We'll play Bayern Munich in a couple of weeks, and that'll be a team that also will compete for us for a Champions League if we decide to do that as well as a team. But otherwise, right? We're not. Only teams. There's only teams that got something on us. The only teams that got points off of us, right? Yeah, Jacques factor. I don't know. I mean, Zubamendi and Rice will be fine with Xhaka. I don't think we have a problem there.
Yeah, I don't. Can I speak on that one? Because I don't think Xhaka holds Arsenal in poor contempt. And what I mean by that is like the Arteta aspect of it. I think fans, maybe there might be a little bit of contempt based on how things went in the Crystal Palace game. But, I mean, Arteta talked him into staying and all that stuff and worked through him and was pretty faithful to him. So I don't think there's animosity there. I think it's just be another game for him, to be honest. I think when he comes to Emirates, it'll probably feel different because that'll be coming back to your home that you played at for 6 years or so. But, this is the other thing. I think I said something completely wrong earlier, and I want to correct myself on this. Talking about Liverpool and City, I kind of don't care what happens in that game. But my point being is all that matters is you've got a 6-point cushion right now. Just keep winning.
No,
it doesn't matter what they do.
It doesn't matter to us because it will be points dropped for someone.
You're right. I mean, ideally, I think if you really wanted to have it happen, a draw is perfect because they both drop 2. But I think from a aspect, you probably want City to drop the points more than you would Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because I think City can still put it together, whereas I don't know if Liverpool can put it together defensively.
Well, you're saying it after one game. Look at the body of work this season.
Liverpool looks like they're playing basketball.
Teams that play City with with a more defensive announce to their game aren't going to get beat 3-1.
Yes.
Like what just happened. That's not going to happen.
Bournemouth went straight wide open with them. I was really surprised.
That was the silliest thing they could have done. Not only that, but they, like I said, they came back in that game, tied it up at 1-1, and still continued to play the same way and got beat by it. It's like It was just silly, silly, silly. There's no reason why Harlan should have even got another sniff at a goal. The
Yeah.
way they were playing, the fact that he scored the way he did in that second goal
Yep.
was silly, very
Yeah.
silly. In the sense of how that came about. So I think, okay, should we play expansive football against City? No, is the answer. Do they have anything outside of Harland? No. If you make sure he's got guys are. Did you see the way that center backs were like giving him tons of space?
Hey,
Nobody was near him at all. It's like, are you kidding me? It doesn't matter
different
where he
zip.
is on the pitch. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of Ray. Yeah, no, Ray will be back, like I said, in a couple weeks. So before Sunderland, though, we have an opponent. Yeah, no, we have opponent tomorrow. They're sitting 24th in the Champions League. So they have scored 5 goals this. And this is once again we're playing teams that are not prolific in the scoring game, right? We are really good at defense, and I think we'll lean on that. And as long as we get the 3 points, we'll be happy. I still feel Champions League is important, but I think this team can walk into the top 8. Yeah, no. I rather win earlier than later. So this is a game we should win. So we should try to win that. Oh, he's from Brentford. Okay, yeah, he's from Brentford. I still think we win tomorrow, but hopefully come out without any. Yeah, for sure. No injuries, please. Anybody who's iffy, I think Ted has been sitting him. Saka hasn't been 100% all season. Yeah. And he should be getting some rest. Yep. Arteta should have taken Saka off. Yeah. I thought Saka started to look better the game before his last start, but he looks haggard now. I think he can't play back-to-back games. I think that's the problem. That's the same thing with Gyökeres playing back-to-back games. I think, and playing all of them, all the minutes makes no sense. But that's Arteta pushing the limits. I don't understand. Oh, I lost my screen again. I don't understand the Saka fear-mongering. He's actually better than before he got. No, he's more sound before he got injured, but he you see it when he's out there. You can see the difference in the in the speed when you see Madueke out there on the same position. You're like, wow, you know, you know that you bring him in late in the game, you're like that other team's in trouble. All right, so I put up my 5 because I wanted to go through that. We talked a lot about all the different players. One player we didn't talk about much, and one player that I think a lot of people said did really well. And I watched the game a second time and still didn't see it as much because I think we were just really good that it didn't even actually stick out to me. Was Rice? I mean, outside of his goal, I think as a midfield they played really well defensively, and that's why it didn't look like he did much. But I wasn't specifically looking at him. I don't know what you guys think, Tony Rice.
I think he probably not his best game of the season, but
Some people say he got man of the match. So according to many, he was the best player on the pitch. So Tony, tell me what you saw
uh,
or didn't.
it's playing more defense and offense that he has been doing. And I think that's. Hey Siri, stop.
I was like, who are you talking to?
Siri suddenly started playing music again. Siri, stop. Hey Siri, stop.
Ay. All right.
I thought Rice was really good on Saturday. I thought he was getting there, getting tackles in, taking the ball back from them, making good passes. Thought it was a really good game from him. And it's not just the goal. The goal was really good, obviously. But I thought Rice was really good.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's one of those things where if you're not looking at him, you probably don't realize all the things he's doing.
Yeah,
Right?
that's factual. There's 22 players on the pitch, and it's hard to really see everything. You usually have to do 2 watchovers to really, because a lot of times I barely watch the center backs play. I watch them when they're attacking us to see where their positioning is, what they're going to do. But yeah, it depends on what you're looking for in the games because a lot of times, people are strict on Odegaard, and I'll watch him a little bit more. Havertz, I'll watch him. It just depends on what you're looking for in the game and who you want to watch. But I thought Rice was really good. I was really pleased with Rice. So
It's hard to see what every player is doing with the view you get from your TV. You can't see the whole pit, so therefore you're gonna miss bits and pieces. That's why to carry to see what I've seen when we're transitioning. There's suddenly 3 defenders and 5 defenders by the time a team crosses the halfway line on it. So
Yeah, like I said,
we're,
I don't,
we're all looking
I
at
don't, I
different
don't think
things.
it's a problem now. I don't think that
No,
you keep bringing it up, but it's not a
no,
problem.
it's a good thing. But
Yeah.
but that's the difference between last year and this year because like I said, Calipari would always be up there, and there wasn't anybody back there. So Gabrielle has this like 160 square yards of space to cover, and
Yep.
he's one man. He's a beast, but that's asking a lot of him.
I think we're better with the ball at our feet as well. We're not giving up those ball like you saw it like in certain games, right? We lose the ball and then they're on the counter and like you said, Gabriel's there by himself. That doesn't happen. That ball doesn't get out fast enough anymore. Even on when they try to counter us, the ball doesn't get out. They've got to deal with getting through the midfield, and that's probably where the Rices and the Zubimendis come into play. It's not easy. Even when you get a counter, when we make a mistake, they still not able to get through there, and sometimes they have to reset and go back again. As you say, Saka will come back and defend. Martinelli definitely will come back and defend.
Rice came back and when Calafiore went up on one moment on Saturday, I saw Rice drop back in that left back position in theory.
Yeah.
So it's just there's a more understanding of roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it like this too. Calafiore last year, you mentioned that he would just go up there, but there was a lack of familiarity, lack of understanding, a lack of trust with players. It's kind of like the same thing with Eze, right? Yeah, he's been in the league, but there still is an understanding, that maybe Saka doesn't understand what Eze wants at certain times. Make this run at this time, but that's going to keep coming, and the familiarity and the reps and everything. It's the same thing, and I think we talked about this on Saturday, Gary, and the Verts, is he not good enough? Well, he's just started playing with this team. Like, give it some time. Isak has no excuse to not hit goals in. I think I heard a stat today that it's been 200 plus days since Alexander Isak has scored an open play goal, which is ridiculous if you really think about it. But with that being said, Calafiore's he's had a year in Arteta's system now. Even when he's not injuring, he's watching, he's learning. Who's the guy that just came in as the coach? I can't remember his name right now. He's brand new. He replaced Carlos Cuestra.
Heinz.
Yeah, I think you see him a lot on these training videos and even in the games, his vocalism and we're just. Yeah, I mean, I don't go too far into
for me, he's like the anti-Arteta in the sense that he's probably more aggressive, and I think we see that from the way that
you need that
because he's not like, if you look, they show pictures of him. He's not only talking to the defenders, he's talking to the attackers, talking to all of them. So I think he's he's definitely, as you say, like an assistant to Arteta, and his style is, I think, a little bit more like in your face and a little bit more.
Would you argue this, Gary, that he's not a yes man? My point being is he's a guy that has a CV that can come up to Arteta and say, "Hey, think about this." Am I making a good point on that?
No, I think so. I think he's, like I said, I think he brings something totally different
perspective.
So he's not gonna he's not like, okay, Arteta, all right, tell me what to do. He's not doing that.
No,
he's got a way that he can bring the best out of the players that he's working with, and I think we're seeing that. So I think it's not the same. It's not like Arteta. It's not like, I think a lot of the other, they're younger than Arteta, right? Or they've decided to just defer to Arteta's will to some degree, and I think we needed somebody, like you said, to basically say, let's think about this a different way, Arteta. And
Yeah, that's a big reason we're covering all our bases and you're not seeing all that empty space and the players that are working for each other. I think that's a lot why you're seeing the difference there.
True. Yeah. So we talked about Rice. Eucharist, I mean, I don't really have much more to say than I have about Eucharist. I think it was one of his best 45 minutes for us, even though, he did score. He had opportunities to score. He actually helped with our attack. Made some really, like, if you look at a lot of the attacks that we had, he was the one making the pass sometimes before the pass or making the pass that created a lot of what was going on, especially the header to Rice. He's the one that makes that long pass to Trossard, right? I mean, he was playing really good, and maybe he realizes what he needs to do, and his body said, "Crap, I can't go anymore." So, and that might be, like I said, from playing a lot of 90-minute games when he probably would have never have done that if we were healthy as a squad. But yeah, no, anything else on Eucharist, Tony?
No, I mean, I think you could have still sent him putting it this year.
Yeah. No, just talk
The
about the
com-
game. Just talk about this game.
but he was great for 45 minutes, and his body gave up on him.
Yep.
He did what he needs to.
Hmm.
He's getting rewarded for all his runs back behind in the final third, and he's lowered the ball when he has the chance to hold up the play, which really is his game.
Yeah. This is kind of a little rundown of what I saw. Like a lot of people saying, on the 22-minute, Eucharist makes a pass to Saka. Saka's got two defenders around him. As they open to the left, he decides to hold on to take a shot. That all started from Eucharist. 31st minute, Eze to Eucharist, pass to Saka. He shoots. Goalkeeper makes a really good save. Ball rebounds. Trossard gets a shot off, gets cleared off the line. They've got three guys on the line. I mean, this is all started with Eucharist. Then Rea makes a long ball. It makes a long pass to Eucharist. He holds the ball up, tips it to Saka. Saka to Eze. Shot deflected out for a corner. I mean, all of this is with Eucharist touching the ball. Right.
Gary,
And this is all, and some of this is transition football. Some of this is coming from the goalkeeper with a quick decision and seeing him sprinting down the middle of the pitch. Right. And on the 47th minute, and this is probably where he gets knocked out of the game. He's going down, long ball once again. He gets a little bumped, and then you see him just bend over. And
you're just proving the point I was going to make, Gary. Everybody's been asking where Ray is. Gary's transitioned to Ray because we're doing minute by minute football.
Nah, you know what? It's because when people said he's having a good game, I had to go back and look at it and see what were the things I missed, and those were the things I missed. I mean, that 15-minute period, and that was towards the end of the half, really good. And that's not saying what he did before that, right? Because he scores a goal in like the 13th minute, right? So he had a full game, a really good game there. Spencer, anything on Eucharist that you either haven't heard or wanted to say?
Well, I was just going to play the devil's advocate, Gary. Of course he's going to do that against a championship level club. I'm just joking. That's what they were going to say, because there's always moving the goalpost. No, I got nothing to say. I was happy with him. Well, I've been happy with him the majority of the year, though, to be fair. Because I view that striker position more than just putting the ball in the back of the net. It is obviously the number one goal. But I view the other things. That's why, sometimes I get giddy about Havertz, because the hold-up play matters, especially if you're going to try to exploit the other teams with your wings. So someone's got to hold that play up to connect the ball up to Saka or Martinelli, Trossard, whoever. So I've been happy with Gyökeres the majority of the year. I do worry about him in his first touch at times, but overall, I think he's probably the striker that we needed.
Yeah, he's not as strong as Havertz in the case of that's why his first touch is never that great because he's getting bumped, knocked over, and he's just not. He hasn't been holding up
Yeah.
well underneath that when that guy bumps into him. But I think he just a matter of time before he figures that out and braces himself for
He,
the bump that's
he
about to
can
come
go
in.
to Havertz and they can work out in a gym since
Yeah,
Havertz was supposedly breaking
we
all the
got
team
Gyökeres because
records.
he does the things that Havertz can't do.
No, I'm just saying
I
about the
mean, no,
strength.
but what I'm saying is that
Ah,
as
I'm
much
just
as we
saying
want
about
Havertz to come
physical
back, we're
strength.
going to find out the things that he doesn't do and see them and go, that's why we got Gyökeres on the squad.
I'm just
And that's
saying
why
I
we brought
needed
him
to
in.
go back there in the training room,
Yeah,
hitting
yeah,
the weights together since
yeah. You just look at
Havertz was breaking
In
all
a
the
perfect
records.
world,
yeah,
this would be complementary, right? Where it's like plug and play. In a perfect
Or
world, I mean, if you,
or a second striker.
I mean, if you, I mean, Havertz is fine as a second striker. You don't need to go buy another striker. My point being is,
he's
you know,
saying a front two is what he's saying,
No, or
not just
back
a
behind him
yeah,
as
I
a
mean,
10 being
yeah, or yeah, or part of a four. That's what you're talking about, Tony, right?
correct.
Not just
go
that we
on.
have not that we just have a backup, but that we have both Havertz and Gyökeres on the pitch together.
You could probably do that if you needed to get a goal, in a game, and you're trying to trailer, you're trying to track it. But again, in a perfect world, this is a plug and play system. You can play Havertz one game, play Gyökeres one game. I think where you're going to see the killer instinct is probably more with Gyökeres than it is Havertz. And I think what we're seeing with Gyökeres, and this is my thought process here, that I just of the 15 games so far we played, I'm watching him become more comfortable in the league, if that makes sense. He's more comfortable with his teammates. He's more comfortable taking his chances.
Yeah.
And this is very accurate. BX is saying Havertz compliments Gyökeres and Moreno up top. It's 100%. We need him back. We do. We need Madueke back to give Saka a rest, to give a different approach. I think it's almost like they do the same thing, but they have different approaches. It's kind of like Madueke and Saka, two different players, same position.
Yep.
But yeah, Gyökeres stuck out to me. Rice stuck out to me. Calafiori stuck out to me. David Raya basically had a hammock.
All right, let's stick to my five because you're rambling.
Well, I didn't see your five.
You're not even rambling, but you're just moving off topic here. So talk to me about Trossard because I have him in my five. I thought he actually played pretty well, Spencer.
Yeah, he keeps starting, which again, I'm not a massive fan of, but given where we are, he's probably the best option to start left wing right now. I know you're going to say, and we're in the middle and Eze at left. I know you're going to say that, and I'm prepared for that. But Trossard's been playing really well. I feel this becomes one of these things, competition breeds competition. Is it possible that Trossard has seen that, hey, the writing was potential? Look, Trossard and Martinelli, we thought they were both goners, right? Going to be gone. And they both actually played an important, integral part of this team. But look at Trossard from his perspective. Like, they brought in Eze, which, again, if Odegaard's healthy, where does Trossard fit into this wheel? So Trossard is having to basically fight for his position. So what are we seeing him do? He's playing really well. And that's, again, bringing Eze in, you brought players in that make other players feel uncomfortable. I don't know if Madueke was brought in to make Saka feel uncomfortable, but there is that aspect of a competition there. Just like you could argue Madueke could play on the left side and push Trossard and Martinelli to the bench. So I think he played well on Saturday. He had a good pass. Something that's underplayed in for our team, and this is where I'm going to give Trossard his due, is also the defensive tracking that they do. In Arteta's system, the left wing and the right wing are expected to track back on defense. So he's done that well, the aspect of the game as well. So, but again, BXs they're written off by many and left for dead. There was people even on this here panel, and myself included, that thought they would be gone in August.
Yep.
And you could legitimately make an argument that you're not in first place without Trossard or Martinelli on this team. You actually might be only 4 points clear, because if Trossard's not playing, you don't get that goal against Fulham.
No, it's
So
a total squad thing.
yeah,
Talk to me about Trossard, Tony.
He's in there because of his football IQ. He sees the game. Spencer mentioned and tracking back as soon as when he is tracking back, as soon as he wins the ball, it's usually 40, 50 yards down the pitch, and it's right there for somebody to hit. He did that last year. Havertz still about missed that header when it was perfectly placed from him from that long of a distance. But that's why he's playing, because he's opening it up for Bucharest, and it's not an accident that Bucharest is scoring more now that Sarge came on and started playing.
Okay.
The two do go hand in hand, because Bucharest style is making the runs. That's why he's leading the league in the runs in the final third. And now he's getting the ball delivered to him, getting him more chances to score. So that's that part of it. But Broussard can still score for himself. He can still go out there and assist. He can do most things. Asked Sevu, he might not be the fastest player, but he's 28, almost 29 now. So
Yep. For sure. All right. So yeah, for me, like I said, Trossard had a really good game. Of course, like I said, he made that pass to. He's the one. He can make that pass to Rice. Because I even see it. You can see Eze coming near post, looking thinking he's going to get the ball, but somehow he sees Rice coming in, and header from even further away than Eze, but it was a nice easy header for him straight at the goal, and goal scored. So yeah, very good there. And the next two picks that I have here, and we probably we'll just discuss them together, because I think, but the fact that they only got 3 goals is in part to the way, at least for me, Saliba and Gabriel played. Gabriel, of course, did contribute on a free kick. I think he got a foot stuck in there on a ball that fell, and right in front of the goal for Gyökeres, who just heads it in very nicely there. But that's all on Gabriel. I think Gabriel's just been, player of the year for me so far. Right, player, for so far in this season, he's our player. Saliba complements him defensively. Between the two of them, you get nothing, and you like it, because that's what's going to happen. So Saliba, it's easy for him to sit back and watch what's going on. And he'll be there. He got the talent to be better than Gabriel. There's no need for him to do it right now. So I like both of that. Tony, talk to me about Saliba and Gabriel. Or just have talk about them together.
They form a good back there, because you can always count on Gabriel being in position. Saliba maybe not, but they work good together. The thing that never gets talked about enough, you hear Gabriel, what he does on defense, but what he does is his leadership, and I think that was lost last year when he was out injured, and that's why I asked that last week or the week before, what happens if Gabriel's out? Where's that leadership that come from? If they're bringing on a defender, most likely to move to Rice, which Rice does that in the Champions League. He shows his leadership there. But I think that's a part of Gabriel's game that's lost, like I said, and those free kicks, you've seen him last year, walk up to the huddle, discuss it, go back. Then sometimes he'd go back to the huddle again or just call an audible on the play, and he sees what's going on. The players trust him. They say it. One thing with him, you get up by what he does on the field and what he has in his brain and what he can do with leadership. So, I mean, he's an easy player to get behind if you're one of the other 10 players playing. Because he played balls out, he played smart football, and you can't ask much more from the guy.
Yep, I hear you. Anything? So Spencer, Gabrielle, and Saliba. That's the last.
Let me think what I think of. Well, I've given the armband to Gabrielle a few times. I think it's pretty apparent who's better of the two. And to me, it's Gabrielle. I don't really got much other to say about them. I mean, they work really good together. I think having a good partnership on your center backs is really what matters. I mean, we all lived through Mustafi and Socrates, or Socrates, sorry. Apologize, Socrates. We all
Colonel
lived.
Mustard.
Yeah, I mean, golly. I mean, it's David Luiz, and it's refreshing to see a Gabrielle and Saliba, back there, and understanding that, they might give up a goal, right? But they're very rarely going to give up 2 or 3 goals. So that's really kind of the lesson that when I watch them play. So
For sure. Yep. Yeah. And so that drowns out my 5 from the game. I mean, when you continually don't give up much, and we gave up 3 shots in the game, even though it looked like they were going crazy in the game in terms of late in the game, but nothing really came out of it because the defense is too good. The defense is too good. We have a game tomorrow. We'll talk about that really quickly, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
Slavia Prague, like I said, is sitting. I recall they are sitting. They are
24th.
sitting 24th in the 24th, and as I said, let me see. I was looking at this the other day. They are. Where's the Champions League here? I think they've only scored, like I said, not that many goals. I think, let's see. If I look at their form as of late, they scored 2 goals against Banik Ostrava, and 4 goals against FC Zen, and then they didn't score for 3 games. And what's interesting about that is they played FC Zen away and scored 4, but at home 0-0 draw. So,
you say Zin, is that ZYN?
Zelen,
Okay.
ZLIN. So, yeah. So they they are struggling a little bit. Needless to say, they are struggling. So, yeah.
Well, maybe the Yorkeres is a precaution, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
we probably don't even want to have to play him in as many games as we
Yeah.
have, and this is a game, like I said, against a team. They've scored 2 goals.
Again, I think some of these games with Yorkeres, put him on the bench.
Yeah.
Break glass if needed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even think the fact that they pulled him out at halftime.
Yeah.
He does have a muscle. He doesn't even have to. I think he doesn't have to go on the trip, because I think he should just stay home and mend himself and hopefully be ready for Sunderland.
That's what I was asking. Who just stays and does not board the plane? To me, Saka, he doesn't get on the plane. Bucharest doesn't get on the plane.
Yeah.
This is a home game tomorrow, is it? Or is it?
No, it's a away game. We got 3 away games in a row.
12:45 kick too. So for you UK folks, 5:45.
Yep. We've got a 3-game road trip. We started it at Burnley, then Slavia Prague, and then Sunderland. So,
Okay.
and then we go on a break. So yeah, not back home until we play North London Derby on the 23rd, and we'll probably hopefully be fully stocked of
And that's a
players.
Sunday game too, right?
That is
That should be
a Sunday game, 11:30.
week before Thanksgiving. Is there a Champions League game that week?
There is Wednesday at
Wednesday.
3. We play
Okay.
Bayern Munich, so it's a big game. So
Yes,
those
and
are
I think
two.
that's a big week anyway because I think you got what you've got that team, Bayern Munich, and then I think Chelsea. I think it's
Yeah,
following.
we play Chelsea
Yeah.
the next Sunday. So
Yeah.
yeah. So those are 3 big games for us. It's really 4 because Sunderland is they're
Yeah.
not any slouch, but yeah,
We're talking about international break between you
Yeah.
can break those two
Yeah.
up.
yeah. So yeah,
You do what you did last week and just rest the starters pretty much.
yeah. No, Slavia Prague. We shouldn't have to put too many. We shouldn't. Any player that's on the cusp, we should let them rest. Mascara. It'd be nice to give Mascara a start.
Yep.
Be
True
nice
that.
to give Skelly a start. Because Timber, not having to place Timber would be nice. I know he doesn't. They don't play on the same side, but if there's a way to do that, let Timber get some rest. He doesn't need to play every game. Gabriel
Saliba.
probably will play because he always plays. So,
Yeah, Gabriel
Or-
probably
or-
starts. I see Skelly starting. I see White starting.
you know,
I see Saliba starting. I see Gabriel. I see our fullbacks will probably change. Zubamende will definitely start. Rice will start. Eze will start. My gut feeling says Trossard probably starts. Moreno, and then probably Saka. That's the changes I would see. But that means Mascara is going to come in. Hincape is probably going to come in halfway through the game. No guard probably comes in. You pull Eze off, bring in Weary on. Moreno, I'd make him do the whole game potentially.
yeah.
Um,
12:45 is the game time tomorrow. So
yeah,
lunchtime. But Piet's gonna has his squad here. Rhea, Hincapi, Gabriel Mascaria, White on that back
Mhm.
line. Skelly, it looks like you have him in midfield based on what you have there.
yeah.
That'd be nice. Nogard and Eze. That'd be interesting to see.
I would love to see Skelly in midfield. I mean,
Yeah.
just watching him. I think one of the most beautiful things I saw this year so far in all these games is that run in the Champions League.
Yep.
From Skelly.
Yep. And he
Just
can do a
taking
lot of that.
people on, not a care in the world.
Yep.
18 years old. Yeah, I'll do it, man.
And I like his front line, Trossard, Moreno, and where he allows Saka to get some rest and where he to get some good football, get a start, and maybe see it all the way through, or you take him out because he doesn't really play 90 minutes these days, which is fine. You got Dalman that probably will be able to come in and back him up if you needed to. You've got different ways to handle that one.
I think you see Martinelli start. I don't think you see Trossard start.
That's an option as well. Yeah, and let him run at their defense. So yeah, but I mean, I think they're defensively sound. They don't give up many goals, but they don't score either. So we should be fine there. We should be able to put pressure on them. Be nice to get another win. That will give us 4 wins.
12 points.
Yeah, and we're basically about 6 points away. And if we're able to get something out of the Bayern Munich game, that will get us closer to getting into the top 8. I think we're sitting 4 right now. And I think, if I recall, Bayern Munich is sitting second ahead of us on goal difference. Sorry, they have 2 goal difference on us. So this would be a game for us to catch up on the goal difference. So even if we draw that match, then we can either bypass them or, whatever.
Okay.
They play PSG. They play PSG and then they play us. So they could have a tough time, if it doesn't go their way. But if they have a really good 2-game stretch, then where they stand. So
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a repeat like last year. We were hovering around the 7th, 8th spot because it was a goal fest and those because Goal difference played a huge game in those first 6 Champions League games, and after that, you seen the better teams stand out, and what goal difference went away and was an issue.
So with a win, I would argue that you're locked into the final 24. So I was looking at last year's 9th through 24th. 24th was Club Brugge on 11 points. They had a -4 goal difference with Dinamo Zagreb at -7 goal difference, 11 points. But obviously Arsenal doesn't. But the point being is the top 8, 16 points was good enough to get in there. Liverpool obviously had 7 wins, 21 points for the top of the whole leagues. And again, this is the thing here with this, and I'm looking at the bracket last year. I mean, you're looking at avoiding that game, right? You have to a game to play because it's the knockout phase, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, please correct me if I'm wrong here. If you're in that in a round of 16, you pick that top 8. You kind of pretty much you gain what was 2 games. You don't have to play it. It looks like.
Yep. You don't play the first knockout round.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's massive.
What's different about this year compared to last year is you don't really have any surprises right now in that bottom of the league. Like last year, we had Real Madrid was struggling. Now they're sitting 5th. Liverpool, who was tops, is sitting 10th. Chelsea 11th. I mean, there's not many big name teams low down the table. All the big names at the top of the table this year. I don't think they want to go through what Real Madrid went through last year, having to play extra games. So
PSG was 15th in the league phase last year.
Yeah.
And if we're looking at this, I'm trying to remember the final 4. It was us, PSG.
They were injured right into the start of this thing, so they got help at the right time.
Yeah,
and they were very young. They weren't clicking yet because they're all young. Hadn't had much.
Well, they made transfers as well, right? I mean, they had transfers and they had
January
injuries,
window.
so they did a couple of things right. They were injured when they played us, right? And then they brought in players that made a difference against us. So, and we didn't make enough. We didn't make any changes, right? They made changes to help them win a Champions League. We didn't make any changes, and we got nothing out of it. So,
Well, I think that's the reality here. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
When we played them early in that season, they weren't one of the 12 best teams in Europe, but they ended up clicking and going on and became the best team in Europe.
They got healthy, and like I said, they used the January transfer window to improve their play. So, yeah. Yep. Definitely. Anything else on Slavia Prague? All right. I'm gonna go through the chat because there were some comments I did miss, and I want to just make sure I don't miss that. And then we'll get out of here. Yep. Saka's been beaten up for the last 4 years with no break until he got his injury. Until they drove him into the ground, and he may never be the same again. You were correct. We're seeing that now. His football IQ is what allows him to play, but he can't do the things he probably would like to do. Yep. Gabriel had a good game. He had the assist, and defensively was sound. What else do I have? I think I put all of the comments up. We've got Digger Game Zone 2747. My fears with injuries. Thanks for joining us on the show. Yep, injuries are going to be they're going to be a struggle for us, but we have answers. We have answers now. Like even if we went to Moreno, he worked out for us. But I think we're a better squad now. So even though we might have to go to him, it's not going to look the same as it did before. It's not.
Yeah, but the thing with him though, he gets the positioning right. So you have better teams in the squad now, so they should be able to pick him out.
Yeah,
so
but like I said,
we're
a better squad all around. So the fact that Hill's there and he knows how to put a shot on goal, we just have to help him with that. I mean, he's not going to make the runs like Gyökeres, but he will. It'll be better than it was last year because we are a better squad.
He knows where to be.
Yeah,
the guys are the big boys. body easier.
Yeah. Saliba, maybe he is still trying to recover from an injury. But I mean, our defense is solid with them. So, yep. Talked about the time. What else we got here? Harry Kane and Bayern are cooking, pulling goals out of there. Yeah. They look good. So I don't know if their defense is gonna is if our defense is something they've seen before, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And like I said, I think we're better now. So it could be a stalemate because their attack is good, but our defense is really good. Not worried about Kane. He plays in a 2-team league and has not faced a defense like ours. Yep, that's what I said. All right. After what is it? We are solid front to back this season. So for me, the major double is on for me. Yeah, it's definitely in the cards. We can do it. We just, like I said, one game at a time. One game at a time. All right, Spencer, I'll let you have your say.
See ya.
That's all you want to say?
Nah, I don't really have much. I mean, thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for letting me come on here, Gary, and ramble and put up with all my BS. Tony, it's good seeing you as always.
Yep.
Stay healthy. I mean, we'll see you guys Saturday. Game's 12:30, so I'll be here for the road trip, and you have no idea where we'll go. So
True. We gotta get through tomorrow, and then we'll be good. Tony, talk to me. Tell the people.
The people that the Arteta needs to learn and rest everyone.
No, to our fans, we're leaving. Arteta doesn't want to hear from you right now.
To our fans, tune in Thursday for wrestling. But I tuned in Saturday because it was the best Saturday night's main event. It only had 12 minutes of adverts versus about 45 to an hour and 15 minutes of adverts because they were all adverts. Not one single match was interrupted by a commercial. You got to see wrestling.
Nice.
And my wrestling buddy that joined me because before he had commercials. Difference is, it was just on Peacock. It wasn't on NBC and Peacock.
Cool. Yeah. Just want to say, all right, thank you, Tony. Tyrell Gunner joined the show. He actually did subscribe, so thank you for subscribing. Everybody else, thank you again for joining us. We'll be back doing this again next Monday, talking about the last two games, and hopefully there are two more sets of 3 points. That's all we need. Just 3-point hunting, and we'll try to do that again. We'll hopefully we can overcome the injuries. I won't see Eucharist until we come back from international break. But we got answers no matter what.
Just stop declaring that word, Gary. At least we know I puke every time I hear it.
What word?
International break.
That's what it is. It's an international break, and that's what we got to do. Tiger and Goodness says 3-0 to the Arsenal. I like the sign of that tomorrow. We should be able to do that. Everybody's enjoying the show. Thank you again for joining us. We are going to get out of here. Good night. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and all of that, and we'll be back.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.